the great operatic sequence, which shall either be the downfall of Mohammed Muammar al-Gaddafi, or it will end in a fiasco, and that is what I call the Obama NATO bombing abomination. Okay, so Act Zero is that there's a playbook at CIA for every single contingency in every single country, especially enemy countries that were Soviet aligned, and Libya is one of those. So there's a playbook. There's an outbreak of the Arab Spring, interestingly, very exacerbated by the WikiLeaks reports. Where we have the Bradley Manning stripped naked, humiliated, paraded in front of his captors naked, not allowed to have any being naked when he sleeps. Really dreadful. The State Department spokesperson resigned over it. And Obama is also severely prosecuting whistleblowers, according to, I think, Greenwald. So then in Act 1, we have the outbreak of the Arab Spring, culminating in demonstrations in Benghazi and Tripoli in particular. This is the operatic element. We get into the technical details later, if you'll forgive me for a moment. Then Act 2, within 2 days of the rebellion outbreak, all of this information, heavy weapons, mercenaries, Viagra rape, etc. And already people are exclaiming for Gaddafi to go. And then Battle of Benghazi occurs, where Gaddafi rolls up the rebels. That's the end of Act 2. And Act 3 begins with the NATO intervention. And they completely level the Libyan army, going back from Benghazi all the way to the center of the country. Horrific destruction of young men. And soldiers are no less important. They're young men. They are the flower of a nation. Severely abused arms embargo and humanitarian peacekeeping mission. Neither of those is what we're doing over there. Then Del Campo comes out with these international criminal warrants, which are highly premature. And then Medvedev sells out Libya, saying that Gaddafi has lost his credibility, and I'll get into why that is a very bizarre, very cynical statement. And then they came around again to some extent. Russia is not pleased. Okay, so I want to give you an introduction briefly to the stats. Okay, so where are these stats? Here we are. So very, very briefly. Okay, so the first thing I want to demonstrate is our public sector spending, which is this entire blue section here, which is amounting to, well, 2150, 21, 41, 50, 62, 38% of all funds spent in the entire public sector of the U.S. are spent on the military correctional system. And then 29% are absorbed by public health care spending. So altogether, you're talking about, what did I say, 38%, 48, 58, 68, 67% of all of our public spending is consumed by these two things. So that means our national priorities are really screwed up, because this public health care is extremely inefficient. Extremely inefficient. Okay, so at any rate, moving right along. Let's see here. So now, in having the moral superiority to say that Libya didn't do well, we should look at where we can compare it apples to apples. I do want to point out Libya is not tested in PISA. I haven't found their scores. But of this sample of 30 nations, the U.S. placed dead last in math, and then 23rd in science and 17th in reading. Not a very good standing. Apparently I got it for Kyrgyzstan. Now, life expectancy. Well, this is a relative, I think, per continent. And here's the African continent. When you average life expectancy and infant mortality rates, I believe this is 16 per thousand at most. Infant mortality, and these are the ages. So Libya scores an 85, the highest in Africa. Now you see New Zealand, Japan are much better than that. They're the highest in the world practically. So it's Hong Kong is really good. Singapore is really good. Macau is really good. Korea is really good. Brunei isn't bad. It's an oil-rich state. Okay, now these places are really messed up. Burma, Cambodia, Pakistan, New Guinea, India, Afghanistan. Very messed up. Very high infant mortality rates, 5.7 and 7.9. Cuba scores actually 1 point higher than the US. And let's see, where is, and then the very highest are Iceland, Sweden, Switzerland, Norway, and France, and Italy, and Finland. And so childbearing, I'm not going to get into that. Income inequality, neither. Okay, this is an interesting metric. People in Libya stay in school. If I find this, oh darn it, it's not in this one, is it? Maybe it is. Here it is, Libyan Arab Jamahiriya. Here it is, 14th, with people staying in school. Women 17 years, men 17, and what's this? Oh, 17 total, men 16 years, women 17 years. So they have an average, I think, of a bachelor's degree or something. I'm not certain. United States is down right around here, 24th. 1 year. Average is virtually the same, isn't it? Except they're 1 year beyond us. So, you know, and then the rest of Africa is hideously below that. I mean, let's see here. What's the lowest one we can find? All these countries in Africa, Malawi, Congo, even Morocco, they're all at the bottom. Where is Egypt? Let's check Egypt out. Egypt, look at that, 129th. Okay, prisoners. Libya has only 10,000 prisoners, so the idea it's a police state, perhaps it is, but almost nobody's incarcerated. They have a 6 million population, so it's about 1.5 prisoners per thousand, something like that, right? Whereas in the United States, we have just mind-boggling levels of prisoners. Let's see if I can find it for you. It's at the very top, of course. Even though our population is only 1/3 of China, we have, again, 33% more prisoners than they do. So our incarceration rate is actually 4 times that of China. So we have the worst incarceration rate in the world, except perhaps Russia. India is almost 1 billion people, and their incarceration rate would be 3 per thousand, I believe, whereas ours is 7 per thousand, 2 out of 300. Yeah, it's about 6, 7 per thousand. So it's vastly higher. And then poverty, here look at this, green, the United States has the most prisoners in the world. Let's see. Look at this for incarceration rates. We're by far the highest, 715. And Libya is down here around less than 148, like I said. That exactly matches, right? And I think that's all I got for you on that score. So with that put behind us, let's go straight into the matter as quickly as we can. I wanted to give you an idea that if you study the data for Libya, they also have no debt. They have huge cash reserves. They have various other benefits, and I'm not going to sound like a loyalist. I'm trying to be impartial, so you look them up on Nation Master and on the UN HDI, Human Development Index. So, okay, so we were then in Act 4 of the drama. We see a resistance to the onslaught, large demonstrations of loyalists, poor performance of the Cyrenaican rebels. The Berbers seem to be doing all right. And NATO is just doing famously, bombing the shit out of them. No. It's also resulted in a real strong alienation of neutrals from the U.S. to see this kind of a interpretation of a peacekeeping mission, because, you know, it could happen to you, or even you, as the owl told the other animals in Bambi. So then we have the assassination of Yunus, and then I mentioned Cybercom, because U.S. Cybercom is a charter to dominate information waves against an enemy. I happened to be studying that right about the time that the bombing of Libyan TV occurred. Fourth scene as the press begins to give the loyalist spokesman Musa Ibrahim up till now has had a complete blackout or was ridiculed during the conference, during the coverage piece. And so then the next act, we hope, is either ceasefire talks or perhaps there'll be the illegal downfall by, completely abusing legislation that we ourselves wrote. So let's go to the proper, okay. So now let's just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes. Okay. So now we have the Berber do not surrender their sovereignty to Cyrenaicans issue. This is a little picture of the Berber. There's some in the east, apparently, or Gadames. The Berber actually lived down in the bottom third of Libya. Now, see, we're going to get to that. Look, there's Tuareg that are related to them, Zanaga. The Berber are largely against Gadaffi. They actually, what they want is they want autonomy. So if Gadaffi could give them that, they would be more likely to be semi-neutral. So the ideal thing would be for them both to minimize attacks. Now, in the chronology, this is hard to read, admittedly. On the beginning, just prior to the outbreak, a large amount of Islamist prisoners, the largest in recent memory, was released with the intercession of Saif al-Islam al-Gaddafi, the most politically prominent of his children. And most of them were largely from Cyrenaica, where Salafism, which is a fairly